All right, okay, everybody. Coming to you here in just a second. This is meteorologist Steve Horstmeyer. I'm running a little bit late here. Still has some tower cam problems. Oh, there's tower cam. Okay. So let's start off with tower cam now that I got it working. This is 89 degrees right now. Of course, this is live as of 7:18. I'm a few minutes late. Had a couple issues. Didn't get them all worked out, but got most of them worked out. You're looking at downtown Cincinnati from South Fairmont. Not a cloud in the sky right there, and it's a hot one. Still 89 degrees at 7 p.m. In the tri-state. Hi, everybody. Steve Horstmeyer here. Been gone for a little bit more than a week on a little bit of vacation, although I don't call it vacation anymore. I call it practicing for retirement, and it was really rewarding. Retirement has a lot of attractions. I think might take up that retirement thing come March when my contract is up. So, but what we've got, we have we had a hot excuse me. And the worst part of it, I didn't get any Diet Mountain Dew. I ended up with Diet Coke, but that'll make my wife happy. Okay, let's try that again. It's been a hot and humid day today. The heat index made it over 100 in both the Lebanon area and out in Batesville, Indiana. Both the airports there are surrounded by crops in a lot of fields, and those crops transpire a lot of moisture into the air. That pushes that dew point up. That increases the heat index. And so heat index is often very, very much a function of your local environment. So, I mean, if you, let's say you live down in a valley along a stream, and the humidity is higher than it is on the hills above you, you often have a heat index that is higher. And we're going to have another day like that during the day tomorrow. I think my voice is working now. The minute I say that, it gets that tickle again. So let's take a look at the temperatures. These are 7 p.m. temperatures here in the tri-state. Again, it's dropped to 89 at CVG. But you can see still a number of locations in the low 90s. And if we take a look at the heat index values, heat index in Lebanon still 100, down to 95 at Hamilton, 96 in Batesville, 96 at Lumpkin, Madison, Indiana, you're at 94, 95 in Ashland, Kentucky. So it is definitely a hot and humid evening. Nothing to show in the satellite radar loop, but if we zoom out, you'll see that there's both a tornado watch. Let me put myself up here. There's a tornado watch up here in Iowa, Minnesota, parts of Wisconsin, severe thunderstorm watch down to south of Chicago, or southwest of Chicago. Nothing that's going to affect us. This is not going to affect us. And there is a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for parts of New York State, Pennsylvania, all the way up into New England. None of that affects us. And down to the south, this is a tornado watch because of Debbie. Debbie's no longer a hurricane. It's a tropical storm with 50-mile-an-hour sustained winds. And as it moves out of southern Georgia, it has the possibility of creating tornadoes down there. Although the good news is, with Debbie so far, there have been very few tornadoes reported. Debbie's a slow mover, and it looks like rain will be a big, big issue with Debbie. So there's what it looks like close up. You can see the heavy rain from Jacksonville and then in bands all the way up the coast. Charleston's up there just below the banner, so you can see that. And if we look at the forecast from the Weather Service, what you're going to see, the National Weather Service's National Hurricane Center shows you that what's going to happen with the storm, it's to the west of Jacksonville right now, right on the Georgia-Florida state line. Moving north and eastward, should go right over Savannah, according to the Hurricane Center's forecast. Curve out to sea a little bit, curve back to the north into the northern part near Myrtle Beach of South Carolina, and then weaken as it heads through North Carolina on up into the Delmarva Peninsula. That's Delaware, Maryland right there, and Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, Delmarva Peninsula to the east of Washington, D.C. Now, the issue with this is it's a pretty slow mover, so it's going to be rainfall. So let's go ahead. There's that the track full screen. And if we take a look at what the rainfall totals are going to look like, they end up like this, okay? And so what you see here is you see quite a bit of rainfall. As a matter of fact, right here, this would be just south of Myrtle Beach. This would represent by Thursday at 7:40 p.m., this would represent more than a foot of rain, maybe 20 inches in spots. And again, since it's a slow mover, it has a lot of time to dump a lot of rainfall. And again, let's go back and take a look at this. And there you see, as of Saturday and Sunday, this area that you see there in purple, okay, so this area right here, most of northern and northeastern parts of South Carolina is a foot to 20 inches of rainfall, and the rest of this is anywhere from 6 to 12 inches of rain. So lots and lots of rain. It looks like flooding is going to be the main issue because the winds, again, are down to about 50 miles an hour, continuing to drop, and so that's enough for some damage, but it's certainly not a monstrous hurricane by any stretch of the imagination. It is a very wet system, and you're going to hear a lot in the next few days about the flooding down in the southeast. Okay, now here's what it looks like. What I want to show you here is here's what we deal with all the time in forecasting for Cincinnati. The question I've had a lot is how much of this is going to come to Cincinnati? Well, the track of the center of Debbie is up this way. Okay, remember, it comes off the coast, back on, and then up this way. This orange color is the really humid air that we've got over us with dew points in the 70s, that real sticky, steamy stuff. Well, notice right here where that doesn't happen. That's the mountains, okay, the Appalachian Mountains. So the Appalachian Mountains, when you get higher in elevation, the moisture doesn't get that high. And the Appalachian Mountains here act as a big barrier, a big dam to any kind of moisture moving into the tri-state. And that moisture will continue to move to the north and east on this side of the mountains and try to get over the mountains on this side. So let's put this into motion. Let me give it to you full screen first and watch what happens as what's left of Debbie heads up the coast. You can see it spinning around there, back on coast in North Carolina. Notice how the moisture there's not very much left at all of the moisture to the west of the mountains. We still have some in our viewing area here, some of this really sticky air, and this is Friday morning at 2:10 a.m., and we see some really nice air coming our way. We call this the tropical traffic jam. Whenever a tropical system like what's left of Debbie here gets into the mix, everything kind of slows down. So here's some moisture that hasn't cleared the mountains. We're waiting for the cooler air to come in. Now watch what happens as Debbie heads off or to the north and east and off the coast. Give it to you full screen again. Watch the air from the northwest, that blue, come our way. Okay, so the tropical traffic jam's over and the nice weather settles in for the weekend with the next rainfall coming in for Monday. So tomorrow, another really, really steamy day. So we head into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It will still be warm and humid, but not quite as nasty as it's been today. So tomorrow, another one of those that makes you feel really horrible if you have to work outside. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, still warm, still a little bit humid, but not nearly as bad. And then tropical traffic jams over Saturday and Sunday look very, very nice with noticeably lower humidity at the present time. Okay, so sunset this evening at 8:46, 89 right now, dropping 10 degrees to 79 by 11 p.m. We're talking about this as we head through the night, maybe a few clouds up to the north. That's about it. The shower activity stays off to the north. Now, tomorrow morning for the commute, dry, but as we head into tomorrow evening, here comes shower and thunderstorm activity right there. So tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, into early Wednesday morning, some shower activity around the tri-state, and then the drier, less humid air begins to settle on into the tri-state. So overnight, we're looking at a low temperature of 72, sunrise at 6:43. High of 93 during the day tomorrow, that high temperature of 93, again accompanied by high humidity, so we are looking at some spots having a heat index at over 100 degrees. So hot and humid. Now, but as we go to the 6 to 10 day outlook, I'll let you look at that for a second. I got to check something here because something isn't working right the way it looks. Okay, so yeah, comments are coming in. I'll talk to you or answer your questions and talk about your comments coming up here in just a couple minutes. Okay, so we're looking at the Climate Prediction Center's forecast, August 11th to 15th. It says cooler than normal. Now, don't think of fall cool. Think of summer kind of cool, so a little bit below normal. As we head 13th to the 19th, that warm air begins to build back into the tri-state. And then, of course, for August 3rd, 16th, it says, that's the wrong date. But for the end of August, it says near normal. Okay, so August 11th to 15th, drier than normal. August 13th to 19th, drier than normal to near normal around the Midwest. And then we are, again, talking about this in your 7-day forecast. 72 tonight, 93 tomorrow, 68 and 84 on Wednesday. So showers and thunderstorms tomorrow evening, overnight into Wednesday morning, then ending. Mostly sunny for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, but still a little bit on the humid side Thursday and Friday. Wednesday also still a little bit humid, but then for Saturday and Sunday, the humidity drops off. Things look very nice as we head toward beyond the 7-day forecast. Now, this will take us to the 19th of the month. Little or no rain is in the forecast for that 7-day stretch. Now, notice normal high temperatures by then are down to 84 and 85 degrees, and so we're not far from normal with a little bit of a warming trend there at the end. So little or no rain in the forecast through that 7-day stretch, and here you go. You see you see high temperatures not far from normal, low temperatures not far from normal, but a good stretch in there below normal, and that's what that below normal pattern from the Climate Prediction Center was showing, that it looks like it's going to be a little bit cooler than normal around the tri-state. Okay, let's see here. It's been a while. I've been gone for a while, so I'll try and remember what I'm supposed to be doing here. I'm supposed to be switching to camera 1. Okay, there's camera 1. Oh, it's a little tighter than I like. A little bit too much Steve there in the shot. And so we look at that, and then I'm going to go over to the Facebook computer, and we will try to take a look at some of your comments and questions. Okay, so Michael Schrader said, welcome back. We missed you. Thanks, Michael. It's nice to be back. Jeff Beechler, I've been waiting for this. I was spent 10 days off from work, and I couldn't wait to talk about snow. So Jeff wants to know, any snow yet? Hope no bad storms coming this week. I don't think so. I don't think we see any bad storms right now for the next 2 weeks. There's not much of a chance of any severe weather, although anytime it gets hot and humid, you could see some of that. So, Sarah, hello to you. Melvin Stone Street, welcome. He says, welcome back. Okay. Did I have a good birthday? Yeah, I had a good birthday. My birthday was yesterday. 71 years old. Feel like 90 right now. No, but what I did is on my birthday in 1957, my mom and dad had just bought a house in what's called Loveland Heights. It was like the first big subdivision built in the Loveland area. And we weren't living there yet, but the house was under construction, and my mom and dad, that was their first house as a young married couple. They loved to go out to Loveland and see the progress, and so it was Saturday, and I believe it was Saturday, August 4th, 1957, that we went out to look at the progress on the house. And then for my birthday, we got to go down to the Loveland Dairy Whip right there on West Loveland Avenue, and I got an ice cream cone. First soft serve that I ever remember having. It may not have been the first, but the first I remember. But yesterday, 67 years to the day after I got my first ice cream cone at Loveland Dairy Whip, I got another one at Loveland Dairy Whip. So, and still as good as always. You might have known that it's up for sale. It's an institution in Loveland, and they're not revealing who's offered to buy it because the sale is pending. But the people that have offered to buy it say they want to keep it as a Loveland institution. So I'm hoping that's the case. Okay, now let me get back to you know how I am. I get sidetracked a lot. Okay, let's see. So Melvin Stone Street, yeah, I had a good one. Shelley Seaman, welcome back. Thank you, Shelley. Mandy Goins, will we have any severe weather this week? I do not think so. As a matter of fact, I don't think we see anything. I think we do get a chance for a few showers, maybe a clap of thunder on Wednesday as a front comes our way, but that's about it. So we don't see any severe weather. Okay. Thomas Sons, hello to you too. Sarah, thank you very much for wishing me happy birthday. Although, you know, at my age, I guess you can understand it. I don't like to count them anymore. All right. And Jeff Beechler said, you know, he asked me, hey, any snow yet? And so he said, he figured I was ready to hear about the snow again. Yeah, you're right, Jeff. I love talking about snow. Oh, Shelley Seaman, you said you walked down the hill many times from Cherokee to the Creamy Whip. I lived on Mohican Drive, okay? So I didn't live too far from you. Now, I probably lived there long before you did. But my mom and dad bought the house at 501 Mohican. That's right between Bellwood and, oh, what was the other one? But right there near the corner. It wasn't on the corner, but 501. And used to walk down Valley View, back down when there was a thriftway down there. A couple other things, but we used to always walk to that Creamy Whip. So, Shelley, we got something in common there. You lived on Cherokee. I know right where Cherokee is. I lived on Mohican. And I lived there from 1957 to like 67 when my dad got transferred to California, and then we moved back. Okay, so Shelley said you're Jeff's daughter. Which Jeff, Shelley? Let's see. Jeff Beechler's daughter? Okay. So if you're Jeff Beechler's daughter, yeah, I guess you know he likes snow, huh? Okay. So Betty Plyman wants to know, Plyman or Pleman? I think it's Plyman, wants to know what makes tornadoes. Okay. First of all, you got to look at what's going on around the country. Typically, for a tornado to form, you've got to have some cooler, drier air moving in from the north and very warm, moist air from the south, okay? And that's the two basic ingredients. And then it all depends upon the winds. And so what happens is the winds near the surface are going like this. The winds a little bit higher up are going faster. And if you think about it, that's caused, so here's the surface, here the wind's moving faster. That causes the air to roll like that, okay? Well, if you get a thunder shower starting to develop, it's got an updraft, and so that air that is rolling like that gets tilted to the vertical, and I've got my finger going backwards, but tilted to the vertical, and that rotation caused by the wind shear near the surface, once you turn it upward, is converted into rotation like this, okay? So that's the beginning. That's the rotational beginning of the tornado, and then if the updraft goes strong enough, it stretches it. And the best analogy that everybody has seen is the ice skater at the end of his or her performance, has the arms out and brings the arms in. And so what happens, their spinning rate, and it's kind of what happens with the tornado. The updraft in the thunderstorm takes that rotating air, stretches it like this, it gets narrower and spins faster and faster and faster. So that's basically, oh, okay, you're Jeff Gramp, oh, Shelley, you know, you told me that before. You said you were Jeff Gramke's daughter. Well, well, your dad was my best friend growing up. Oh, my gosh. So, yeah, we lived right around the corner. So, okay, Shelley, sorry, I forgot, because I remember you telling me that before. And Betty, what makes hurricanes is basically, it's a little different. You got to have warm water, you get a bunch of thunderstorms forming, and then because of the rotation of the earth, the whole storm begins to rotate. And eventually, it works on itself and increases the rotation rate. So hurricanes are caused by thunderstorms that form in a big cluster. Okay, they become organized, they begin to rotate in the same sense that the earth does, and then eventually they just get stronger and stronger and take over and kind of rule themselves. So again, it's rotation in that case. Okay, Shelley, and Shelley, I apologize. I forgot you told me I think you told me one other time you're Jeff Gramke's daughter. So, oh my gosh. So that's impressive. Okay, now there are no more comments here, so let me go back over the forecast here, and then we'll call it an evening. And let's see here. Oh, okay, there we go. I'll go back to the 7-day, and we'll take a look at that. I've got to change cameras. Okay, and I'm trying to get to the. I don't even see it here now. Give me just a second. Oh, not that. There we go. Now we got it. Okay, now we'll go to the 7-day forecast. I just couldn't find the button. Okay, so 72 and 93 tomorrow. Now tomorrow, Look for that heat index to make it up to right around the 100-degree mark in many locations once again. 68 and 84 on Wednesday. Wednesday, there's that chance of a morning shower, then partly cloudy. You'll notice the humidity lower. Not really dry, but not stifling like it is right now, but uncomfortable still. Thursday and Friday, the humidity drops even more, and then Saturday and Sunday, once what's left of Debbie's out to sea, it's going to let everything else begin to move to the east again, and so Saturday and Sunday at this point look very, very nice. Monday looks pretty good also. And then when we get to beyond the 7-day forecast, I'm afraid you're going to have to water your lawn and your garden quite a bit because we're looking at high temperatures in the 80s. Most of them not far from normal. It begins to warm up a little bit more on Monday at the end there, the 19th. But we don't have much in the way of rain coming our way through the 19th. And then your 7-day forecast looks like, or 14-day, 7-day plus forecast looks like this. High temperatures for a certain amount of time there through about the 13th below normal. Same thing with low temperatures. And then we begin to warm up to a little bit above normal. So I'm on camera 2 now. So that's it. That's it for tonight. Thank you for joining me. Have yourself a nice night. And Shelly, when you see your dad, tell him I said hi. I haven't talked to him in years and years and years. So that's it. I will be on tonight at 10 o'clock on Fox 19. And you can always check out the weather on our website, on our app, or you can use our weather streaming channel to see the latest there. Thanks for joining me. Have yourself a nice night.